without further ado, Dave Bacon.
Thank you, Chuck. It's awesome to be here. Very humbling. Save your applause, please. So I'm going to refer a little bit to my iPad here. I am joined here by Jim Booth. Jim is the COO of Sphero, and you guys are about to learn about an absolutely amazing company here in Colorado. And I'm excited to be a part of this. I have 3 children, and we have a house full of toys. And given that I live in Colorado, I have a garage full of toys. I have a trunk full of toys. And Jim here is in the business of toys. So quickly about Sphero and Jim, before we get started. Sphero focuses on transforming toys in the future of play. So we're gonna really get some insight into the future of play. It was founded by Adam Wilson and Ian Bernstein. They're a Techstars company from 2010. Jim was actually a mentor to Adam and Ian, and then he joined the team. This is Jim's 3rd startup, so he's a full-on veteran. Jim, welcome.
Thank you. Thank you.
Can we get a welcome for Jim? Awesome. Thank you. We're gonna be louder than the other people over there. So, Jim, this is your 3rd startup, as I just mentioned. You have a room full of entrepreneurs or aspiring entrepreneurs. Can you tell us about some of the lessons that you've learned from those first 2 and your current company?
Yeah, I think there's a number of different lessons you get with every different company, but for us, product market fit was really important. We spent a bunch of time, and I think thanks to Techstars, myself, Paul Barbarian, our CEO, Brad Feld, one of our key investors, just working with our young founders to get product market fit right. Initially, when they came into the program, they said, hey, everybody has one of these in their hands, but they don't control anything in the physical world with them. So we had Adam and Ian opening up their garage doors, starting their motorcycles up, doing different things with connected. And we said, hey, what do you guys love to do? And both of them were radically talented roboticists, software guys. We ended up pointing them towards what they loved and also, just getting product market fit right, from the beginning. And that launched us. And I can't say enough about the Techstars program. I've supported it here. I've supported it in different cities. We're now actually going through Disney Techstars out in Glendale as an established revenue-generating largest company in the program. And it's cool to kind of go through that. And what Techstars does is really do a good job with that product market fit, because people will say, how do you market a product? How do you sell it? How do you manufacture it? It all starts with getting that product market fit right. So
what is? Can you tell us more about this product? You're holding some items here.
This is Sphero. This is our first product that we developed after we came out of the Techstars 2010 program. It basically comes with 30 different apps that you can control and play with it. The simplest thing is you can use it as a remote control ball. You can use it as a controller. If you look at a ball being man's first toy and most versatile toy, we do a bunch of different things with it. The coolest thing about Sphero and our future products is that we know how long, what people are doing, and we can tailor the play experience to them. So we learned a lot. People say you can't engineer your success. Well, we're living proof to say that you can do that. We look at play patterns, how often somebody plays with something, what they do with it, and have made an enormous amount of changes to our product since we started. So this is Sphero. We've got 2 iterations of it. Comes with different accessories. We're available in 70 different countries. We sold hundreds of thousands of these, and it's been a great ride for us. Our second product is Ollie. It is a sort of physical Tony Hawk sort of skateboard in a robot. It can jump 15 feet in the air. It can do incredible tricks with it. So it's just absolutely amazing. And this is our second product. We peeled out the driving aspect of Sphero and really built the most awesome little toy for kids.
So you can drive these things from your phone.
You can drive them from your phone. So we're about connected play. And the awesome thing about connected play is that you get data that you can use. We went to a toy conference and we said, hey, the crazy thing is if you look at an RC device, most RC devices don't survive their first battery change. They just don't, right? So we're able to see how long people are playing. They can do amazing things with them, and they, we basically monitor the play to give people what they're looking for.
Awesome. Yeah. So, is this just for kids or is it for adults as well?
No, our market's kind of interesting. We have kids that love Sphero, and then we have basically geek dads, basically tech-forward family, moms that are purchasing. We have makers and hackers. So we have a bunch of different ways that you can hack into Sphero and Ollie and use them. And so we have a variety of different segments that use and love Sphero and Ollie.
And so this, we're in the manufacturing track here. Sphero is the title sponsor for the manufacturing track. I'm curious about the manufacturing element of these units.
Sure.
Like, what are the challenges of manufacturing a toy in Colorado? No less this toy, which is a highly sophisticated toy.
I mean, the first challenge is, as a young startup, you got to be able to figure out what your demand's going to look like ahead of actually having purchase orders in the bank sort of for it. So figuring out demand is the number one hardest thing. We lay out a bunch of capital for that. We produce them, overseas. So we do a bunch of things here, from a development standpoint. And then we actually have to get on planes and go overseas and monitor that manufacturing to make sure it turns out like what we want. I mean, we deliver a really highly engineered toy. We think, as a parent, we think it's terrible that your kids will buy a toy and say, it's going to break. You just don't. You're like, it's going to break probably in 10, 15 hours. You're almost apologizing for it on the front end.
Yep.
So from our standpoint, getting that quality right, getting the what is it going to look like in terms of inventory, those are really the toughest challenges for us. And I think the third challenge that's super hard is that, when you're in an industry that really cycles through a lot of different items, is getting on that development cycle. So, every year you got to come out with something new that's amazing and fun. And, that's hard for a young company to kind of get on the same development cycle as maybe a Hasbro, Mattel, or somebody like that.
So speaking of things that are hard to do, I wonder if the market, I'm thinking aloud with respect to my own children and my concerns about, hyper connectivity. It's my own concern for myself sometimes, but especially with them growing up, do you find that as something you have to overcome with respect to the market where you're selling a toy that is managed, driven through a device?
Yeah, certainly. I think one of the things that we say is we think it's a shame that kids, their sole play experience now is tapping on a piece of glass, right? You lose something. And when people ask us, what do you think of just traditional static toy? We're fans of it. I mean, I love static toy. When people looked at me as a kid, I was that kid that rode the big wheel around and said hello to every one of my neighbors, right?
Totally.
It was just, I was that kid. I love static toy. And we think that, basically gaming is, software gaming is awesome as well. We've managed to combine the both of them in a really unique, fun way. And that's what sort of that magic is. We've taken software and hardware and combined them together into what we say is this zone of really hard shit. It's really tough to do. So
it's not a Startup Week event without at least one curse word.
Yeah.
So that's good. I'm thinking about this, about the toy, and about, again, the connectivity, and I'm also thinking about other applications of it. Whether it's either in healthcare or potentially within education.
Yeah.
Is there I'd like you to address that in terms of where you guys may be going with other applications other than just being used as a toy, either for kids, moms, or dads, or just basically where are you guys going in that direction?
So one of the things that's cool about a startup, and you have some magic in the startup, is when there's optionalities that present themselves in the business. And for us, we knew that we had to write code to this ball to do incredibly cool things as a toy. And we opened up that code for people to have fun with. And we saw teachers as one of these really nice surprises for us, where they bought our units and they were using Sphero to teach kids how to code and about STEM topics. So
STEM topics?
Science, technology, engineering, and math.
Okay,
So if I want to teach some kids about basic time and distance, I can go ahead and do that. We hold classes where we teach different age groups how to code. So there could be, we have 3 different apps that we can use to teach kids how to code. And it's just so beautiful to see an 8-year-old learn a basic macro and run home and say, hey, Mom, I learned how to code today. And it's just amazing. So we've got over 3,000 schools that have purchased Spheros, used them on their own, wrote curriculum, and it was all done by teachers themselves. So it was a real nice, happy surprise for us. We sort of leaned into it and now have delivered curriculum for it. And it's been amazing. We've just got, we're doing the very same thing for Ollie, teaching people how to code and use different STEM topics in the classroom. So that's super fun to us. And there's just, if you have a great technology platform, people will figure out ways to use it. And they have for us. Education is just one example. People have said, hey, this is a really great sensor pack. Could I use it in a medical application so I could figure out how to do therapy for different people who have hand problems. So when you have optionalities built into the business like that, it's awesome. Just lean into them, use them. For us, it was our developers who wrote the code for teachers to use, and then teachers themselves doing it. And it's just been an awesome point of pride for everyone in our company to go down to an education event, see what kids are doing, and just get a lot of give back that way. So
that's awesome. I'm involved in mentoring some high school students locally here. So if let's say a teacher had a Sphero, they could, when you say by they can do their own coding, like they might be able to say, I'm going to make it go left for 5 seconds, take a right, go back, head back, and end up in the exact same spot, something like that.
Exactly.
So
I mean, we've had camps where they did mazes, and you have to basically command the ball through the mazes.
Wow.
You basically learn degrees, you learn milliseconds, you learn stop commands, loops, all these things that are fundamental programming things that are awesome. So what we see is that schools can buy 10 of them, split them up, a group of 40 or 50 kids, and get a lot out of that type of education. So,
and you mentioned some of the applications there. While we're in the manufacturing track, obviously tech is a big part of Startup Week here too. We're talking about coding. So you guys have a number of developer APIs as well, or how does it?
We do. We have basically any different environment that you could code in. We have an API, and it's like 30 or 40 different APIs. We just said, hey, we want to make it really easy for people to hit our device and be able to do anything with it. So from our standpoint, Ross, who's in the back of the room here, did what we call hackathons. And we would show up with 40 or 50 Spheros, put them down in a room and say, hey, here's our API. We'd say nothing. Grab our API, have some fun with it, show us what you're doing, and we'd pick a winner at the end of the hackathon. And it was cool to be able to go to hackathons around the country with a physical device. It's the same thing in education, that you can write lines and lines of code and not see a return on it. But when you can see a return on a physical device, it's absolutely amazing. We've tried to make it just as open and easy for people to interact with our hardware as possible.
So many of our clients have got the ping pong table or the foosball table, and I could see this being in every single environment where you can turn it into a practical joker as well. Can it make noises?
Yeah, I mean, we use the phone for most of our noises and stuff. This is waterproof. People use it as a pet toy. You could imagine there's just absolutely crazy things that people have done with it.
You can only imagine.
And local startups have been, we knew we were onto something when we had to do volume sales for people that were giving Spheros away for signups for SaaS-based services and stuff. So I have to say some of our local startups were our first supporters, saying, hey, I'm going to buy these, I'm going to take them to conferences, and they just did amazing things with them. So they show up in every place we go, and it's kind of cool to see them. I was in Kuala Lumpur and saw somebody carrying around a Sphero. It was pretty amazing. I took a picture for our developers and the entire team.
Awesome. I don't know if any of you folks have done a name change, but they were formerly known as Robotics, and their product was Sphero. Everyone just, maybe you can talk to us a little bit about that, about, the name change itself is in terms of how it affects your identity with the market.
Yeah, to be really honest, we didn't do a good job of planning for our name. And, our first website we created was GoSphero.com. We got tons of fans, followers on Facebook, Twitter. And then we decided, hey, we're going to come out with our second and third product. What do we name those? What do we change our website to? And we just said, hey, you know what? Similar to early in my career, I was an engineer at FedEx, and I remember when we changed our name from Federal Express to FedEx because that's what people called them. Everywhere we were going, people were just calling us the Sphero guys. They knew us by our product. And so we changed the company name to Sphero, and now
it's natural.
Yeah, it was just a natural progression, a natural fit for us. So Sphero's a name, happens to be a product name, and our future products are all going to be individually named as well.
Interesting.
Yeah.
So we've got a few minutes here, and I'll take a couple questions as well. This is incredible where you guys how far you guys have taken this. What kind of pearls of wisdom can you give us in terms of overcoming adversity, or was there a point when you just thought this thing could never get off the ground, or that as a team there was friction, or I don't know, but what's the hardest thing that maybe you've overcome that you can parlay to other experiences anybody might have, that we're not all in toys here. So
yeah, I think as any entrepreneur, you're going to face incredible obstacles, and you got to decide whether you're going to push through. There have been businesses where I've said, hey, this business is not going to make it. I'm not pushing through that wall. But once you decide, you've got to make your way through any obstacle. And for us at Sphero, I remember telling my wife and kids that, hey, I'm thinking about doing something different. I can join the senior management team of a very successful company here locally, Rally. Anybody know Rally Software?
Sure,
They've gone public. I was set to join the senior management team there, and or I have this opportunity to go to work with one of my best friends, mentor, and it's with this company named Robotics that makes toys. And my kids just started screaming, robotics, 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 to go do that. And I was there for about a week, and we were trying to pull together our first demos to bring to CES. And we could not get the units to function at all. And we were about a week away from going to CES. We had hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. And one of our engineers, we walked in, we said, hey, we're at the point now where it doesn't seem like stuff's gonna work. We're probably gonna need to cancel us going to CES. And he said, hell no, I can get this to work. Don't worry about it. And we basically rallied as a team, got the product to work. We scrappy-dooed and got a great booth at CES. We actually became a subsidiary of another company for one day. So CES would allow us to take over their booth. And we had probably what I would say is the perfect storm of interest at CES. It launched our company. So we had press, we had consumers, and we had buyers just swarm us. And we were that close, just saying, hey, we're not going to go. And that was the difference. We had even investors were there. I remember one of our investors was trying to get to me to talk to me at the show, and he just kind of waved and said, hey, I'll see you back at Boulder. So, but that was our sort of maker moment of deciding to press through. And even at the show, we had 8 handmade balls, and 6 of them were breaking, and we were fixing them in the back room, and no one even knew. They were just having fun, and that was sort of we've always gone to CES and created this circus sort of playground-like environment, and it's been a special place for us. It's what launched our company. So that was our big, you gotta really decide whether you're gonna power through and get over a huge obstacle. And there've probably been 15 others. We had another one where our first year out, we took about a year to develop Sphero, and we underestimated our ability to produce and overestimated demand, and we were facing not being able to ship units for the holiday to people that placed pre-orders with us. And we actually had to send notes to all of the folks on our pre-order list, along with a little card saying, hey, we'll ship after the holiday to you. And we thought we'd lose people on the pre-orders. We thought people would get really angry at us, and no one did. We basically had people say, hey, thank you for telling me what's going on. We only got more pre-orders. I mean, there were, maybe a person here or there that was a little upset that a unit didn't show up for the holiday, but we did some amazing things to recover from that. And I could name 5 other things, but it's all about kind of breaking through all of those obstacles as an entrepreneur.
Yeah, we'll be hearing stories like that throughout the entire week. I love that, just the hair of your chinny chin and the skin of your teeth there just barely making it to CES. So let's take a couple questions. Who's first? Right there. What's next?
So for us, we're all about delivering an incredible connected play experience. So we're looking for other ways, other platforms to deliver that with, not necessarily an RC device. So one of the reasons we're out at the Disney Techstars program is I think that our DNA is we're engineers and we wrap an experience around it. But when you look at a lot of toy people, they basically start with the experience first and wrap the product around it. So we're starting with that experience first, and we sort of now have the luxury to do that.
Yeah, that's an important distinction.
Yeah, so we want to learn about, and it's been an incredible experience for us. But that's sort of where we're headed next. So you'll see more product coming from us. We've been successful largely on the back of selling inside of the CE or consumer electronics space. We didn't go to the toy market first. We didn't go to mass toy, meaning Target, Walmart, Toys R Us, because they can eat a young company up. So we said, hey, we're going to go into places where people value sort of real, highly engineered products. So you'll see us pushing a little bit into mass, but we want to be careful there. So,
another question right
Yep,
there.
right here.
You got a mic.
I do.
All right.
So how did you get that product, Sphero, the original one, in front of your first person? Who was the first victim? And how, how did you get it, the very first thing out there?
So
Black cat.
we were the first. Oddly enough, this is we have all kinds of play tests. So if anyone ever wants to come to our office and bring the kids, that's what we're all about.
And you'll be sticking around afterwards too, right?
Yeah. We'll stick around.
So
afterwards.
stick around to see it.
But literally, it was like we were in one of our offices and we had somebody walk in the door that was delivering something. And we handed him a device and we said, "Hey, check this out." And he was a delivery guy. So it was like hot off the oven. Like, "Hey, can you check this out?" And and when people are in our office, things are whizzing around, they're going like crazy, and it's usually a good interview filter when people, if they get pissed off if a ball or something hits them, we go, hey, this is the reason for our existence, and that's why everybody came here. Generally, people came to our company to do sort of the best work of their lives, and they love that, the distraction of playing all day. So.
Flying balls are literally a part of your DNA.
Yeah.
So how are we doing on time? One more question. Right there.
Hi, nice to meet you. My son is one of your biggest fans.
Awesome.
He's 11, loves the toy. He was an RC car kid.
Oh, cool.
And one thing that definitely attracted him was that contest that you put out for designing something new, and his friends in many other states were involved. So I just wanted to get your feedback on how you're getting kind of a social connection amongst the youth, because that to me was one of the unique things about your product, is that the kids were actively engaging with the toy and with each other, which I haven't seen my kids do with other products. So I just want to give you that feedback. That was really an awesome thing, and how are you going to do more of that for them?
So it's really odd to see the things that keep kids interested. Sometimes we would do crazy memes with the Sphero, right? Other times we would give away, we gave away a month's supply of free bacon, right?
Did I hear free bacon?
Free bacon, right? So we just did. So basically, people engage with our brand in a really fun way. Cats and bacon sell Spheros. Anytime. So we did a cat video, and it just all the cat people came out. But so we just try to. Our company culture. One of the key things is we say act young and be fun, right? And you don't have to be young, but you can. And everyone sort of has that mentality. So we've seen people all over the company just recommend things that are great. But generally, we look for really fun digital ways, and your son was part of them, to spread the message. Because if we're just starting to test TV right now, and it's just so wildly expensive that you just shake your head and you go, ah, kids. I find it. I mean, we're testing it, but I can't remember the last time my son watched a commercial. It's pretty tough. But anyway, that's how we plan to do more of that. And we spend our dollars, digitally online where kids are, and we also spend them with our partners. People like Apple. We do video. Our 4th hire at the company was a videographer, and we've got videos that have over 1 million views. And the reason we did that was because we knew it was really hard for me to hold this up and say, hey, this has got a ton of fun in it. Believe me, we have to show folks. So
Awesome. Well, you bring so much to the state of Colorado. You folks bring so much to Denver Startup Week, and we're super grateful. Thank you, Jim.
Thank
so
you for
much.
having me. Appreciate it.
Super solid. Stick around for some demos. All around. Careful. Watch your step.